Hi there, YouTube. This is just my little thoughts about the fact that there should always be a place for physical media, and streaming should not be allowed to kill it off. Now, of course, what I'm talking about is television programs and films. There's this big thing at the moment with streaming. Everything is streaming. Everything is Netflix. Everything is YouTube. Everything is, various television companies. Facilities, so iMovie and not iMovie, the BBC's iPlayer, that's the word. But we should never allow physical media to disappear. Now, initially you might think to yourself, well, that's just stupid. Well, what's wrong with having streaming? Because it means you've got everything that's ever been made available to you at a moment's notice. Surely that's better than physical media. Well, I would say not, because there was a brief time, and it's kind of still around, but kind of not, where you could download and then keep whichever television program or film it was. These days, even if you can download them, they will expire or they can be deleted off your machine, even if you've bought them. And also, they're not always all available. Things get made available and then they get removed based on who owns the license to them. This also happens in the world of DVDs, Blu-ray, etc. If you notice, you will see films and television shows arrive on the shelves and then you won't be able to find them for a while, and then sometimes they'll come back and they'll be sent off by a different distributor because somebody else has bought the rights. But the point is, if you bought the rights when they were with one company, you've got the physical media, you can still watch it. You don't care. But if you have something that's streaming and they buy it for 6 months, then for 6 months, if you ever want to watch, Gone with the Wind, Pirates of the Caribbean, Star Wars, you name it, then you can. It's there. But if you come back to it 6 months later and think, I just fancy watching a bit of Pirates of the Caribbean, and you click on it and it's not there anymore. You're still paying your subscription to Netflix or whoever, but they no longer have the rights, so that program, that film has been removed, which means you don't have the ability to watch it, which is a bad thing if you're a fan of it. If you'd maintained that you'd still got physical media, of course, you could watch it any time you want, morning, noon or night. Now, I'm not suggesting that streaming isn't great. It certainly is. It's fantastic and brilliant and wonderful, but it should not replace physical media for this simple reason. I first came across this when I first had Sky Television. In the early 2000s, they had Star Wars. They had all of the Star Wars films on Sky, and you could pick. I'm not sure I think it was every day. Can't remember, to be brutally honest, whether they showed one film each day or whether they were all available all the time. But you could go on to my Sky satellite dish planner, and I could watch any of the Star Wars films from Phantom Menace right the way up to Return of the Jedi, which is where we were in the early 2000s. But yes, thinking about it, I think it was a tie-in because we only had up to Attack of the Clones. I don't even think Sith had been issued then, which starts to date me. But the point was, the first time I really became aware of this whole thing of stuff disappearing was when suddenly there was an advert and it said, last chance to see, this is going to be removed. And I suddenly realised, this Sky subscription, I'm not going to be able to watch Star Wars whenever I want. And that's not life-threatening. It was a shame because, I'd kind of got accustomed to waking up on a Saturday morning and watching one of the episodes of Star Wars because I quite like Star Wars. And it made me realise that, yes, streaming media is great if your program is there, but if it's gone, then you suddenly can't see it anymore. But if you've kept the physical media, then you will keep it. Now, whether that physical media means you've recorded it off the TV or through a computer or whatever, or if you bought it on DVD or Blu-ray or whatever, it doesn't matter how you've got it. I don't even approve of the cloud for the same thing. Well, I approve of the cloud, but I don't hold the cloud up as a shining example for exactly the same reason. You do not own the item. Anything that's only in a digital format that you do not have, that you can wave around, that digital format, that can disappear. Somebody can delete that file off your computer or off the cloud storage. Someone can take it away from the streaming service. But if you've got it, whether it be on DVD, Blu-ray, or even old school VHS or Betamax, then it's better, in my view, because you have paid for it, I would hope. You have paid for it, and therefore you can enjoy it. And there are television programs, certainly, which are never released on Blu-ray, never get streamed. But if you've recorded them off the television, which certainly in the UK is perfectly legal, then you've got it to enjoy and enjoy again. It's just not a matter of it's on BBC iPlayer forever, because it's not. These programmes tend to be on there for 28 days and then they expire. I'm going to take an example at the moment. There was a very interesting programme about the Flying Scotsman being driven up and down. That's the wrong word, isn't it? But you know what I mean. On the Severn Valley Railway, and it was being driven by a guy called Roger Norfolk, who's my ex-physics teacher from way back when. I'd love to have a copy of that, and I watched it, and it was brilliant. But it's only on iPlayer. I don't have the facilities to lift it out of iPlayer, so in 28 days, or less than that, now it's probably already gone, I'll never see that programme again. That's never going to get... It's not fancy enough to get put onto DVD or Blu-ray. I very much doubt it'll ever get put on any long-term streaming service. So that programme, poof, it's been and gone. And of course, this is how life was in years of old, before the world of video and before the world of streaming, of course, which there was a world before streaming for my younger listeners. But this is how it was. Television was ephemera. It came, it went, and it was gone. This is why people would... Certainly for films, you would go and watch your film 10 times because you would never think that you're going to see that film again. You wanted to glue it into your mind. These days, we're spoilt for choice because everything's available all the time. But as I've just been saying, everything isn't available all the time. Things come, things go. But if you've got it as physical media, then you should keep it, and you can keep it. And the danger we have at the moment is Hollywood and the various, all the TV production companies and the film companies, they're falling in love with streaming. And of course, why shouldn't they? Because of course you can charge people to watch it. Hooray. It only costs the money for the bandwidth and the servers at their end. So hooray. They don't have to go for expensive deals with production houses. They don't have to have expensive DVDs made with artwork and covers and distribution from their side of the equation. It's a wonderful, wonderful deal. But we must never lose sight that physical media really does put that power in the hands of the consumers. And I think in this constant rush towards progress, people are losing the ability to watch whatever they want, whenever they want, because streaming, although it sounds good, is not a panacea for everything.